breaking in the service autopilot community, and for that matter, all service industry softwares, is Service Autopilot has just released the better chunk of their V3 R2 release, so the second of 3 major releases. So what we're doing as a certified advisor of Service Autopilot, myself and the Simple Grow team are going to commit to continually bringing live and actionable content to help Service Autopilot users go out and crush their business goals and dominate their market. And in order to do that, we need to go in and have a sound understanding of the new platform. And as well as myself, I understand that we all are extremely busy, especially in the spring rush, whether you're in lawn care, home cleaning, or any other industry that uses Service Autopilot. So what we're going to be doing is going in and breaking down the core functionality, and then continuing to retrain the workflow that we always have in Service Autopilot as a certified advisor. As we use Service Autopilot in my business, and continue to train and help other business owners use Service Autopilot, we've consistently came to be the innovator of workflow training. So we try not to train just software features and functions, but how they actually interact from lead acquisition through estimating, through scheduling, through billing, and everything else in between, and creating a standardized workflow. And one thing that SA has done really well at V3, in my opinion, is they have given us the tools to consolidate down, just like we always talk about the 5 or 6 screens of success. This is a huge improvement to continue to drive and streamline that process. So what we're going to be doing in the next few weeks here is every day, at least 5 days a week, myself and one of the Simple Grow team members are going to come on and break down the new features, and then we are going to dive into those different parts and train that workflow, how it is evolved with V3. So kudos to the SA team, development, support, marketing, and everybody else in between. One heck of a job. Without any further delay, I'm going to open up the screen. If you have any comments or questions live or in the recorded version, drop them for things in V2 or V3 as it's evolving. But we are going to be here as your source of expertise of moving your service business to success from 2020 and well beyond on the Service Autopilot platform. So I'm going to pop this out here and dive into it. So what we're going to be going through today is what used to be Maps Pro is going to be basically the same exact thing, but now it is called Smart Maps. Very similar. As you're looking at the new V3 outline here, you're probably looking at it and going, well, traditionally, I used to go to the upper right-hand corner on the More and go to Property Measurements. So once again, little different look, but same functionality with a whole lot more power. So we're going to be going right here to the little house icon next to the address here. And we're going to click on that. That's going to open up an entirely different screen. So I really like the look and feel of this here. And there's a couple little nuances that originally, when we first started playing this, that we weren't necessarily aware of. So I'm going to break down some of the learning curve that Simple Grow team has already seen in the system and has been spending countless hours trying to master this new program so we can go out and teach you, the end user, how to do it. So the first time we traditionally do it is we're going to go in on our traditional test account. We're going to go in and add a property measurement on this. Right now, you'll see in the bottom, there's nothing here. These are these basically saved variables here. So we need to go up to the upper left-hand corner and hit the edit sign. And what we're going to do is zoom back in to the property. We can bump this out by hitting the icon here. We're going to add an area of a measurement. So same exact feature and functionality of the measurement tool. We click and drop the pins. Obviously, I'm not going to do it with a ton of detail here, but I kind of want to dive in and show you some of the really cool features. We've got some other features that are kind of pending with this that we'll get into later. But as far as best workflow and practice from today on forward in your office, we've always trained for you to color code the map as you do it. It does it automatically. And where you can update the color is right here. So we click in here. I'm going to recommend a light color, maybe not even green or a very light green. Reason being is we really want to be able to do an overlay, and if there's different measurements, it's hard to see under a dark color. So you want to go to a more lighter, transparent color, in my opinion, the way we're doing this. So same thing, we're going to name it per square footage And then we can add, subtract, or exclude. So just like we had the plus, minus, and 0 on the old system, this is the same exact thing, but it's in one calculated, nice, clean spot. So one heck of a job by SA here. Next thing is property data is where we actually go in and grab the custom field. So I've got a great search bar there, but we're going to scroll down, and I'm going to grab the turf square footage for the actual property here. So I'm going to go in and grab our Facebook turf square footage, and I'm going to hit save. Now what you're going to see is down the bottom is we've got the area, and we have the saved measurement here in the green. Now, one of the first things that I learned when using this is linear feet is really awesome. Originally in version 2, you could not add multiple linear feet. You had to add them up on paper and then plug them in. This will add multiple linear feet automatically for you. Great feature. One of the learning curve features that I want to show you as an SA user is if you have the overlay of turf square footage or bed square footage, it will not let you click into the overlay. I can run a linear length across the driveway here, and I can take the line width and bump it out, make it a little bit thicker so it's visible, and I can change the color of it. But obviously, we probably don't want to measure the linear length of the driveway, but this would be great for stick edging or blowing or linear feet of landscape bed or edging. So one of the things I wanted to go in and explain here is I'm going to cancel that. So you cannot measure over the actual overlay. So what you're going to have to do in order to do that is you want to see where it says view. It's got the little eyeball with a slash through it. So we're going to click through that and remove that. Now, if you click back on it, it pulls it back up. But in order to do a measurement inside the existing area, we need to pull that off. So you can click it on and off. Great feature. If you're just starting to use this, we're tackling the learning curve for you. We're trying to bring you the best practice. So in your busy season, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We're going to show you how to do it. So we'd click here, and maybe that's the linear length there. So I'm going to label this stick edge 1, and I'm going to go in and select the property data for stick edging. So stick edging linear feet, and I'm going to hit OK. So obviously that's just part of it. So in this example, I'm going to add in one more variable of it to show you how it works. This is great for holiday lights as well if we're doing the roof eaves. So this was a feature that they've added in and done a great job on this. We're going to add the linear feet once again, and I'm going to click down the driveway here and go out to the other side of the sidewalk. And then I'm going to name it again, linear stick edge 2. And I'm going to scroll back down to property data, and I'm going to go in and select the same exact custom field. Now, one thing that you want to be aware of is when you create these custom fields in different parts of Service Autopilot, especially V3 forms, you want to make sure you're categorizing the custom field as it be a text, a number, or whatever else you may want it to be, because it's going to avoid or help you from avoiding making mistakes. It only works if it's actually a number and not a text field. Parts of V2 allowed that to have some overlap. This is a good feature, in my opinion here. So it's going to help the end user and simplify the process. So now that we've got our turf square footage and our linear square feet, traditionally we would have to, we have the data here, but traditionally we'd have to go into the detail tabs on the bottom to see this all. So if we wanted to, we can go in and under property data on the far left, this opens up all our numeric custom fields. And what we're going to do is scroll down and go into linear stick edging. So 140 linear feet. And what it's actually done is it's taking the 2 linear feet and added them together. So phenomenal job by the SA team here. And I really, really like this feature. So whether you're doing bed edging, stick edging, holiday lights, all in one place, all the measurements add up. And under turf square footage, that's a basically a area square footage. We've got all of the same features. So just as a quick review, you want to name it. You want to add your calculation. Are you adding them in, subtracting, or just excluding? It's sitting there, but it's not doing anything. And we need to connect it to the proper data. So the custom field, and we can color code it. On the far left, we can go in and view property measurements all underneath here. We can go to property data. These are all the custom fields associated with the actual property itself. And coordinates is actually pretty cool. So where this would happen is if you're on property measurements, the red pin here is pulling the latitude and longitude, the coordinates. You can see it here. You can adjust and drag this to wherever you want. So if it landed on the wrong house, we could update it. And in addition, if you're maybe doing a public highway or right-of-way that it doesn't necessarily have an address, you can go in and physically plug that in either on the map or with the mobile. And the last cool thing here is under coordinates, if we took a screenshot from the computer, we can add a photo so the crews know they're at the right house. Or if you're on your mobile, you can mobily add this and upload this in. So we make sure if we have somebody filling in, we're at the right property or any of the property details. So comments or questions, please drop them below in the live version here if you are on live with me right now. Otherwise, if you're watching the recorded version, feel free to drop some questions on here, or if there's certain areas of Service Autopilot or V3 that's just been released in version 1 or version 2. The Simple Growth team is coming to the table once again to provide value and be the expert for your workflow and training in Service Autopilot as a certified advisor. So we'll see you again tomorrow with Callahan's Corner, V3 edition, release number 2, on best practice and workflow training for Service Autopilot. If you're watching the live video right now, in approximately 12 to 15 minutes, we will be going live on the Service Autopilot page with the SA Weekly Talk Show with Cody Owen, myself, and special guests Nikki and John DeCosmaker of Little John's Lawn Care and Call Boss. So we'll see you over on the SA page if you're watching live now with about 45 minutes of content. And some breaking news. So if you want to hear the special announcement, make sure you tune into the SA Weekly Talk Show today in about 10 to 15 minutes, or otherwise check out the recorded version at the SA Weekly Talk Show Facebook page. So we'll see you again tomorrow, Callahan's Corner, where you ask the questions, we answer them live right here on Facebook.